I want to add some information about mindfulness of the body. You'll notice that the next two videos are mindfulness of the body in two parts. The first part is mindfulness of the body just from the head down to the waist and with some of the internal organs. The second part is from the soles of the feet up to the waist and then some of the other internal organs. The reason that I did this is because so many people have trouble sitting for 20, 25 minutes, 30 minutes doing mindfulness of the breath and mindfulness of the body. It's good to be able to make it a little bit easier. So each part is about 10 minutes long. When I thought about how to do this mindfulness of the body, including the internal organs and the external organs, I initially thought, well, I'll just do the outside of the body first, like the body scan that John Kabat-Zinn does. And then I thought, well, when the Buddha gave this instruction, he mixed up the internal parts and the external parts. And there's probably a good reason for that, because I thought, well, if a person is going to do part two, they're just going to do their internal organs. That doesn't really make a lot of sense in terms of the practice, because you always want to be able to relax and calm down the outside of the body first. So that's why the two parts are divided the way that they are. The other piece of this is that I wanted to focus more on observing, accepting, and letting go. So I talk about how in the meditation, when you observe impermanence. When you accept imperfection. And when you let go of self-identifying. I want to say a little bit more about this. Impermanence, of course, is how things change, but not just changing from one thing to another, but also, like entropy, the second law of thermodynamics, things are always changing to be more and more towards decay. The body aging, the body is impermanent. Understanding that, accepting the impermanence of the body is important, but also to recognize when we go through the body's working pretty good on a daily basis. When we go through the body, we're not having a lot of negativity because most of the body is working pretty well. So we have a positivity bias when we go through the bodily meditation, not a negativity bias. When we do imperfect, again, the body is not perfect. Even if you're a supermodel, the body is not perfect. As a psychotherapist, I've treated models, and they have many complaints about this part of their body, that part of their body, concern about their body, again, aging. Not perfect. It's okay. The last part, letting go of self-identifying, this is not so easy. What does this mean? I identify with my body. This is who I am. I look in the mirror. This is who I am. But in fact, if I look at pictures of myself from when I was a child, and I see pictures of myself now, oh, it's not the same person. Well, it is the same kind of, but the person has changed. Impermanence, imperfection has set in. I don't want to identify so much. If you go to the dentist and they take out a tooth, you have less of your body. Does that mean you're less of a person? If for some reason you have an accident and you lose your arm, or you have an illness, they have to amputate a leg, does that make you less of a person? So it's good not to over-identify with your body. Your body has sensations. But these sensations change, they're impermanent, they're not always perfect, but it's good not to identify so strongly. Oh, I'm a person who has this kind of mood or that kind of mood. The same thing with your thoughts. You're not your thoughts because your thoughts are always changing. If you over-identify with your thoughts, then trouble will happen because they will change. The same thing with your habitual patterns. They will change as well. Even consciousness will change, but that's a topic for another video. So in this particular Mindfulness of the Body, part 1, you go through the parts of the body all the way from the head to through the torso. And then you do internal organs, the heart, the lung, the kidney. When you do part 2, you start with the soles of the feet, come all the way up, and then do the internal organ of the liver, pancreas, and the digestive system. We also, in each part, do some things with the fluids in the body. So I hope that these breaking up the meditation into 2 parts is helpful. Remember, observe impermanence, accept imperfection, let go of self-identifying. Good not to be too self-oriented, too selfish. I hope that this information is helpful.